Hello everyone, Charles Watts here, the Arsenal correspondent at Goal, joining you on Friday, the end of another working week, nearly there, and a week where Gabriel Jesus still hasn't signed for Arsenal officially, despite us seeing pictures with Edu, pictures of him at the Emirates in his number 9 shirt, videos of him at the Emirates in number 9 shirt, still no official announcement from Arsenal. I've seen you all today on social thinking every time we get to the next hour, it's like 10 o'clock announcement, 11 o'clock announcement, 12 o'clock announcement. I'm recording this just after 12 and it's still not being announced. And I can feel the rage going up with each hour that passes, especially the Spurs have gone and announced Richarlison already, who I will actually talk about later on in this video because I think that's an interesting signing for them. And I would love to sit here right now and tell you exactly when Arsenal are going to announce Gabriel Jesus. They're going to do it at 5 o'clock tonight, something like that, which a lot of people seem to be presuming. I'm not sure that's going to be the case, to be honest. I think you might even have to wait. This might drag on into the weekend. You never know. Everything can change. The powers that be at Arsenal can decide to press a button whenever. But if you're absolutely desperately waiting for it today, I'm not sure that's going to happen. It could well run into a weekend announcement. I don't know why. I can't tell you why it's not been announced yet, considering we all know what's gone on. We've all seen the pictures. We've all seen the videos. It is just waiting. It's a bit of a waiting game for Gabriel Jesus. But the important thing, and I know you all want to see, we all want to see him holding his shirt. We want to see what he's got to say, see his video interview, see what Edu's had to say, Mikel. You want it announced. But at the end of the day, he's signed for Arsenal, isn't he? We've seen it. It's as much as you want to see the announcement. I think the most important thing is the fact that he signed for Arsenal. We know that Arsenal got their new number 9. We know he's going to be leading the attack next season. That's the important thing. It's done. It's dusted. It's just a case of when Arsenal announce it. And I get it. It kind of kills the buzz a little bit when it drags on for so long. Like I said, I don't know why it's dragged on. I don't know why all week it's kind of gone on and we haven't seen the announcement yet. But it is coming. It will happen. And the most important thing is Arsenal have got the striker that they wanted this summer, and he's through the door and will soon be meeting up with his teammates. Hasn't happened yet. Obviously, he came to London Colney, saw some of them, but then he went off again because he was involved with Brazil during the summer. So he, like the rest of the internationals, have a little bit of extra time off. From the current batch who are at London Colney and have been there all week, and on Monday, I think it's Monday, they will be flying out to Germany for a training camp at Germany ahead of their first game of pre-season, which is next Friday against Nuremberg. Like I said, they're going to be spending a whole week in the training camp there. Going to be a few sort of commercial things going on. I think they're basically staying just outside the big Adidas HQ. And so I think there's going to be some Adidas stuff going on during the week. And it's going to be a very young squad because a lot of the players aren't back yet. We've seen the players who are in terms of senior players. You're looking at Ben White, Nketiah, obviously. Thomas Partey's there. And some of Hector Bellerin's there, who I'll talk about a little bit later on in this video. So there are some senior players there, but it's very much a young squad as well. You know, you're going to have Patino, Amari Hutchinson, people like that heading over. Saladin, I imagine, heading over for the squad. Patino, he looks big, doesn't he? He certainly worked hard. I know full well that him and his agents and Arsenal sort of got together and been working on this program for him to bulk up a little bit and add a little bit of muscle. And you know, he looks pretty good at the moment, judging by those pictures in that have been released by Arsenal. And you can see the work he's put on during the summer, and certainly physically he looks a lot better equipped for the demands of senior football at the moment, and that's a very good thing, because I think Patino, certainly we're going to see him in the first half of the season play a lot more football than we saw last season. Obviously got injured just after he broke into the first team picture and scored against Sunderland, played against Forest, and he got that nagging injury that kind of went on throughout the second half of the season, but worked very, very hard in pre-season. You can see that extra work building up has paid off, and hopefully that is going to leave him in good stead for the first half of the season, because I think he's going to play quite a bit when you look at Europa League group stages, the 5 subs rule in the Premier League, Carabao Cup. Obviously, some good opportunities for some of the younger players there, especially Patino, who's right at the front of the queue in terms of making that step into the first team. So yeah, next week, that's the week we're going to see an awful lot of pre-season sort of stepping up ahead of that game on Friday night. But unfortunately, there's going to be no Gabriel Jesus there. And like I said, you're going to have to wait a little bit longer. I think for the announcement, it might change by the time you watch this. Who knows? They might have pressed the button, and the powers that be up above have decided to release it on Friday, give everyone a sort of treat going into the weekend. But I've got a sneaky feeling this might drag on until the weekend, I'm afraid. We'll wait and see. Tottenham have announced Richarlison, and obviously I don't want to sit here talking about Tottenham, but I just think Richarlison is an interesting one because Arsenal had been kind of monitoring that situation with Everton, and I know a lot of people have sort of picked up on the 60 million price tag for Richarlison, and I actually think it's quite a good signing for Tottenham. I think he's a good player, Richarlison. I'm not sure he's worth 60 million, but at the end of the day, transfer fees are what they are. Players are worth what clubs are willing to pay for them at the end of the day. I think the whole transfer fee type thing it doesn't matter what a player's worth. It depends what club's going to pay and what the selling club want. And we've seen arguments like this with Ben White last summer with Brighton. It's at the end of the day, it's down to this buying club what a player's worth. But I think Richarlison's a good signing for Tottenham. Obviously, Arsenal never pressed for him or anything like that. It was just something they were keeping an eye on with him. And it's going to be interesting. And I think that him and Jesus will kind of be judged, won't they, as this season progresses, who does better, who scores the most goals. I think for Arsenal, Jesus was definitely the better option than Richarlison for me. They needed a player like Jesus, absolutely. It's the way Arteta wants his team to play, that sort of number 9. And he just fits the bill an awful lot better than Richarlison for me. I still think it's a good signing for Tottenham. I think he's got something about him, Richarlison, not just goals and causing trouble, but he's quite physical, isn't he? And he puts himself about, he winds opponents up, and I think he'll do pretty well for them. But I'm not too bothered, to be honest. But I just think it's going to be interesting to see the two of them going head to head as the season progresses with Jesus and Richarlison. Tottenham, fair play, they're getting their business done early this summer as well. They're looking strong. They're adding to the squad. It's going to be an interesting battle between Arsenal and Spurs again next season, who can finish higher. Tottenham with the Champions League, obviously, to go with. But I still think by the time this transfer window's ended, that I think Arsenal are going to be well placed to put on a really good challenge for certainly the top 4 and certainly to finish above Spurs this season. But we shall wait and see. Guendouzi's been in the headlines. I've been having lots of questions about him. What's going on with Guendouzi at the moment? I can't really give you too much more than what I've given you before. It's just a case of waiting for the announcement. That deal was done a long time ago. That he was going to be joining permanent after this loan spell. I saw today there's stuff going on that I think Marseille have included him in a video for their new kit, something like that, and he's in that, and that just speaks volumes. Although no announcements come, we know that Arsenal don't exactly act quickly when it comes to making official announcements. But Marseille haven't announced him either officially yet, but he is going to be playing for Marseille next season. That's as far as I'm understanding. There's nothing changed on that. It was all agreed before he did his loan spell last summer, and none of the clauses that would have stopped it being made permanent were hit. So he will be a Marseille player. It's just a matter of time. Arsenal receiving about 9 million for him for that permanent deal on top of the loan fee they got off Marseille at the start of last season. I think basically all in all they're going to earn about 10.5 million from Guendouzi when that is announced, but it will come at some point this summer, so you're just going to have to be patient on that one. I'm not sure too many people are too bothered anymore about Guendouzi anyway. Daniel Ballard, his move went through yesterday to Sunderland. Delighted for him after the Burnley move fell through. It was always between Sunderland and Burnley to sign him. When he initially went to decided on Burnley, that fell through at last minute, but Sunderland maintained their interest, and that deal was done very quickly after the Burnley move fell through. Great for him, great club, playing in front of 40,000 potentially next season in the Championship with Sunderland coming up. They've absolutely got their eyes on getting promotion back to the Premier League very quickly after securing promotion to the Championship. So good move for him, and I've said it before in these videos, his story is fantastic. How hard he's worked to get to where he is, how the sort of obstacles he's got over. I'm delighted for him to get a big move for him. Arsenal not getting too much money up front for him, about 2.5 million, I believe. It's not massive. I kind of look at it and think they should have got more. I feel like they should have got more, but who am I to say that? They have got a very good sell-on clause included as part of that deal, and I believe matching rights as well. If someone came in for him, that was what they had tied up with Burnley as well, the same sort of deal. And this is a similar one, so they've protected themselves, and they should, if he does go on and have a very good time at Sunderland, gets himself a big move, then Arsenal will certainly benefit from that as well. But congratulations to Daniel Ballard, good luck to him. As I was talking about Hector Bellerin earlier on this video, he's been spotted in all the training videos. Obviously, nothing yet happened with Hector this summer. I would still be very surprised if he's an Arsenal player at the end of the transfer window. It's all parties still very much looking to get a deal done for Hector Bellerin this summer. He still wants Betis. That is all he's kind of focusing on at the moment, but it's just issues about finances with him. Obviously took a massive pay cut to make that move on loan last season, basically reducing wage by nearly a third. I think he's basically gone down from about 4 million to 1 million, something like that. And yes, he's still on big money, 1 million for all us lot. It's like, my God, huge money. But when you kind of think you can do that for a year, but if you've got to do that permanently for the next 3 or 4 years, all the financial commitments that he'll have that he's got, it's a massive hit. So can you do that on a permanent basis? That's what they're trying to iron out at the moment and working out the numbers to see if it can happen. There's been links with Atletico Madrid, I've seen those, but as far as I'm aware, Bellerin's focus still very much remains on finding a way of joining Real Betis full-time permanently, and so we'll wait and see if that progresses. But for now, he's an Arsenal player, we know that. He's still got a year left on his contract. He's back in pre-season. I presume he'll be going on the tour of the trip to Germany next week because he's here, and while he's here, he's an Arsenal player and they're going to have to use him. And like I said, I think he'll probably be going, and he's still Arsenal's number 2, although I've seen William Saliba's listed as number 2 on the Premier League website apparently, and I'm pretty sure long term this season it will be Saliba wearing the number 2 for Arsenal, but it's still technically Bellerin's shirt, I believe, at the moment. So that's the latest on Hector, and as I said, pre-season plans really beginning to kick in now. They've been working very hard at London Colney this week, doing all the testing, that sort of thing. They have been out on the pitch, they have been using the balls, and the senior players that are here are sort of being mixed in with a lot of the younger players, and that'll be the sort of squad we see head over to Germany at the beginning of next week. And then I think they fly back straight after the Nuremberg game, which is on the Friday night, so they get back here on the Saturday, and I think they head out to America on the Monday. It's been a while since I've sort of spoken to someone about it, but I think that's the case, and they fly out on Monday, and that's when all the they might fly out on Tuesday, I'm not sure, but all the senior players will then sort of come back for the start of that and get on the plane and go off for the tour of the US, and that's when we'll see the likes of Saliba, Jesus, obviously, and the other internationals, Odegaard, players like that who all played during Saka, Martinelli, those sort of players who all played for their international teams during the start, at the end of last season, during the start of the summer. That's it from me. Thank you very much for watching. Like I said, hopefully by the time you're watching this video, we've seen Gabriel Jesus announced and he's holding up his number 9 shirt and all of that. But I think if you're watching it on Friday, then that might not be the case. It might end up rolling on into the weekend until Saturday. So let's wait and see what happens. Hopefully I'm wrong, and hopefully you can all get your nice sign-in announcement and go into the weekend very, very happy. Have a good one, everyone. I'll speak to you soon.